Hi, Shakti.
Hi, Samina.
Hi. Okay, so Shakti, would you please tell us what you do, introduce yourself so that everyone who's coming to Awaken the Goddess know what you're all about?
Okay, I always find this a bit tricky. So, like, suddenly my anxiety goes up. It's like, oh, I've got to fit it into one sentence. What I do, but yeah, I'll do my very best. So, yeah, I'm Shakti Sundari. I'm a priestess of love and sacred sexuality, and I'm also a yogi teacher. So I teach Kundalini yoga. I teach ecstatic dance, and I have this practice called Dancing the Goddess, which is my own creation. And I also teach Tantra. And all of those things, for me, they are about our sexual and spiritual awakening. And that's why my tagline is Awakening Your Ecstatic Potential. Because for me, when we really come to know that we are spirit living in flesh, it's an ecstatic realization and an ecstatic experience. So everything I do, everything I teach is about that. And right now, my work is very focused on women. So I'm very focused on supporting women who really want to step into that connection with their true feminine nature, with their divine feminine nature, with their sexuality and their spirituality in an embodied way. So that's the focus of my work.
Lovely. That's a really nice introduction. So, Shakti, you're going to be doing a workshop at Awaken the Goddess. So, can you tell us a bit about that? Because I'm really intrigued, the whole Maiden to Crone thing.
Yes. It's really exciting actually because, I have been working with women for many years, holding women's groups, red tents, teaching women dance. And so in all of those years, like 14, 15 years of working with women, of course, I've noticed certain themes. And so then last year I was conducting a load of interviews with various spiritual teachers and so on and so forth. And one of the persons I interviewed was Deanna Lamb. And she's a founder of the Red Tent movement.
Heard about her, yeah.
Woman. She is so inspiring. And I did her workshop myself because I'm in perimenopause right now. I'm 53 and I'm just noticing some changes going on in my body. And I thought, right, let's prepare yourself, like get ready for the change. You're obviously going into the change zone. And that workshop was really profound. And in that workshop, I had this massive realization, which is this. When we go into menarche, so when we start our periods, basically, when we start bleeding as young women, this is a really massive opening into our potential as women. So we're going from maiden to woman, we're not fully women, but it's like a gateway. And as we begin to flow and our womb opens and our sexuality begins to blossom, this is a major, major sort of transitional gateway in our lives as a woman into our power and into our potential. But what I then also have seen and I noticed, it's a theme, is that for many women at that point, something happened to squash that blossoming in their sexuality, in their spirituality, in their sense of confidence in their body, and in their desires for what they want to be and do in life. And that can sort of be with them for the rest of their adult lives as a woman. Again, it's a theme I've seen in every woman's circle I've sat in. And then when we get to menopause, so this is not a workshop for older women, it's for all women, wherever you're at in your life stage. Okay, I want to be really clear about that because a lot of women miss that opportunity the first time around to really recognize their flowering and to have that transitional moment held for them with love and acceptance and awareness of what it is. A lot of shame around bleeding, shame around the body, shame or guilt around sexuality, for example. When we come to menopause, it's another huge gateway. It's sort of like the gateway out. The first one's the gateway in, but it's also a massive opportunity. And this is what Deanna Lamb also helped me to see for our empowerment. So this is not a time for us to shrink and become somehow less. It's an opportunity for us as women to become more empowered. And things like hot flushes can be understood as our kundalini, our power rising within us. So it's a complete reframe. But what can happen for a lot of women who have a difficult menopause is that basically it's to do with all those issues that happened in the very beginning of their blossoming, in their menarche moment, that wasn't acknowledged. So all those wounds or issues that were not addressed then will come back to haunt you, as it were, in a way, if you haven't really addressed, what did I want to be in my life? What am I, what is my essence? What is my purpose? Do I still have this shame around my body? And if we're still carrying those issues, it can be a really difficult transition. But it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a difficult transition at all. So this workshop is, it's a short amount of time, but it's about all of us women coming together, all ages, any stage in that, and just looking at those key portals, those key transition moments as opportunities for empowerment, and beginning to see, if we didn't know that then, we can, it's never too late. We can address it now and sort of reframe that moment and begin to step more into our power, into our beauty, into our sensuality, into our confident embodiment, into our purpose as women, and let go of all those shameful thoughts, guilty beliefs, repressed, things that have been repressed, and just shine, which, we're meant to shine.
I really like that, actually, the way you sort of put the two against each other, that especially the menopause bit, because our menstrual cycle has an amazing way of telling us, if you haven't sorted out your shit, sort it out right now, otherwise I'm going to make this so difficult for you and force you to do it.
Yeah.
I love that. And when I started my period, I actually started it 5 days after my mum died, so I felt like there was no although a lot of people don't actually celebrate when young girls get their first period, and it should be, but there wasn't even an acknowledgement that there was another woman there to support me at the time, because it was just my dad, and I couldn't talk to him about it, because in my dad's culture it's not something you talk to, and it's just so many of us have not had that a rite of passage when we were young, and it's so important that even if we didn't have it then, we can do it now.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that you're doing this kind of work.
Yeah, your stories really touched me, actually, because I could just really feel that young girl, that just, and what a massive thing. All right, we won't go into it now, because
you're getting a bit teary-eyed now, because you look like you're getting a bit
well, I can just feel the impact of that. But your story is huge, and then imagine sitting in a group of women where there will be a different story, but of a similar nature in a different way, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you've connected in with your cycle yourself now.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I've spent a couple of years doing it now. It's been amazing. Yeah. So Shakti, tell me how you got into this line of work, because it's an interesting thing to be doing with your life, isn't it?
It is. It's the most amazing thing to be doing with my life, though. And actually, I was talking to a client about this yesterday, in a kind of roundabout way, because I do another process I do is called the gift, which is kind of finding the gift in very difficult life circumstances that you think have come to haunt you. And actually, my version now is like, actually, it's all a gift. So I was explaining, to kind of give an example about my own. So basically, I'm a wounded healer. Many of us are. So I believe I was born into the circumstances I was born into to have the perfect background to do what I do now. So, a family where there was a lot of marital conflict between my parents, a very dominant, oppressive, patriarchal father, a very victim, shrunken, diminished female family. My mum was not in her power at all, had a nervous breakdown, a lot of, it was horrible. So I grew up in that environment of very unhealthy relating between man and woman, masculine and feminine. So that was my modeling. And then went on into life, and had this, and then this massive sexuality woke up when I was, a teenager, very young, started to masturbate and feel very sexual. But I also had this sexual longing, like I wanted to know God from a really young age. And I actually went and, there was no faith in my family whatsoever. I walked into a church at the end of my road when I was about 13 or 14. and started to go to church. Like, that's how strong my longing was, right? Yeah, but it set up this split within me, or this guilt, because I would be secretly masturbating and like secretly wanting to have sex. I didn't. I was a virgin until I was 21. So, you know, people sort of have this idea of me. So so there was this conflict, right? All these different conflicts. And so I guess in a way my life has been about unraveling all of that. I left the church eventually because I wanted to have sex with the man that I loved. I waited a year, and then I thought, this can't be wrong. This really can't be wrong. You know, I love him. But I didn't enjoy sex. I didn't really enjoy it until I was in my 30s.
Oh, wow.
Right?
That's a long time.
Yes. Didn't really enjoy it. And then I happened to meet someone who sort of woke it all up in me, and I was like, woo! And then my life has been a journey of actually following my desire, making loads of mistakes, like shitloads of mistakes, feeling the pain of that, wanting to understand the pain of that. So it's like a working out of my own, like, why did I get into that relationship? Why did I give my power away? Why did I share my, you know, what was I trading with my sexuality? You know, all of those questions unraveling. And so that's been it. It's been my own quest for understanding, for this merger. And also I finally found how to merge sex and spirit in myself. And I've been sort of searching for ways to relate more consciously, to bring the masculine and feminine into harmony within myself. You know, that's been my own journey. So then I started to teach it, because when I discovered the things that helped me, I became so passionate. It was like, I'm going to teach this. You know, and I love teaching. It's obviously, it's something my soul called me to do. There's, you know, I have no doubt about that. It's like, I know there's like this deep knowing that my path is to share this work. So I am.
Yeah. Wow. And lucky for us that you are. Oh, well, Shakti, I'm really, really looking forward to having you at Awaken the Goddess Festival. I know you're going to be amazing there.
And thank you, Nina.